So, yeah, I made it to Ireland, only to get to the Blarney Castle. There I am in front of it. We stood in line, finally making our way to the Blarney Stone. Of course, I had to give it a smooch. It was a great trip, even this racy statue, and the lush, beautiful green landscape of Ireland. Spectacular. And of course, the Jameson Irish whiskey, one of my favorite parts. I took a drink and made my way to Guinness for a great stout. Beyond the castles and memories, and this guy, yeah, that's him, there's the cheese. Irish cheese from this place. Irish cheese is amazing. It's one of the best things that they have in the entire country. And today, I'm going to show you how to use it. Especially this guy here, in a great dish. The Colacunnin with Irish cheddar. Wait, you got to see this one. You are really going to love this dish. It is so simple, yet can be served with so many, an array of different dishes. I think you're really going to like this one. But first, let me tell you about my adventure in Ireland. If you don't know who I am, my name is Mark Palladini. This is a new channel. It's called On Your Mark. It's all about travel, food, and love. Love for where we go, love for our beautiful planet and all the places we can have adventures on it. My hope is to bring the people and the places I've been back to my kitchen and then cook a unique and special dish from that region just for you. So here we go. If you like this channel, please like and subscribe. Just hit that thumb button and subscribe, and hopefully we can keep on this great adventure and journey together. Colacunnin. This is a dish I had in Ireland, and it's a very homey dish. It really kind of tunes in with the people that are there. It's almost a dish you would imagine if you were on a farm somewhere with all the green, lush, beautiful cattle, and just like you saw in the first part of the video, as you're going through the Irish countryside, it's really stunning how beautiful and green everything is. Kind of makes you really want to almost eat the grass along with the cattle. It's really an amazing place. You can imagine why the milk is so good and why the butter and the cheese in that country are above par with many of the other countries around it. So let's get started on this beautiful yet very simple dish. You're going to need the following. You're going to need some potatoes. And I use the russet potato, of course. This is the general baking potato. It has the best type of starch for this type of dish. About a half a cup of milk. And by the way, I already peeled and did my potatoes, 4 of those. A couple cloves of garlic. This is my own addition. And of course, beautiful aged Irish cheddar. It's really best to use Irish cheddar on this. And this is a beautiful one from Kerrygold. And I really love Kerrygold because they're very consistent about what they do. But there are so many beautiful Irish cheddars out there. So explore. Go to a specialty shop, go to a specialty market. You'll probably find 2, 3, maybe even more. Irish butter, Kerrygold Irish butter. Sorry, I know that's backwards. This is unsalted butter. We're going to be using a few tablespoons of this. And this is really important to use the Irish butter as well. There is no product in the world like Irish butter. It has a much higher fat content, but that's not really what makes it great. It's one of the things that makes it great. Really, what makes it stunning is just the fact that the milk that is used is from all that beautiful green grass. And that is unique because you really can't get that in many other parts of the world where the grasses are so incredibly intense and green that it makes the milk really rich and beautiful, almost like on a whole nother planet, a whole nother level of milk. So the cheese and the butter comes out incredible. This is why you want to use Irish butter, particularly in this recipe. Now, if you can't find it, that's fine. You can use American butter and or even the European style butter, but really unsalted, fresh Irish butter, top of notch. And then finally, it's a little bit of salt. You really don't need to kind of create all kinds of things on your own with this recipe. There is really enough just in this particular recipe to really tie everything together. Our final ingredient I wanted to keep this nice and cold, and that's the cabbage. This is the beautiful, just general cabbage. You don't have to buy anything fancy or crazy. Just go ahead and grab this. Let's get cooking. So, easy enough. I'm going to move my salt over and my potato. That's already done. As you can see, I've already peeled 4 potatoes, boiled them, and made this. This I haven't mashed them up yet, but these are cooked. You do want to make sure that when you press into the potato, it still has some firmness. I can actually pick this up still, so it should be soft enough to get through very easily, but also not falling apart. The reason, if they fall apart too easily, it means you boiled them for too long and there's too much water in there. They're going to be very, very dense. So we don't want that. This is, we're going to start with the onion. So cut and chop your onion, both sides off. You don't really need a big onion for this. For about 4 potatoes, you only need a smallish size onion, medium to small. Depends. If you like onion, you can go ahead and stick. We're going to chop this out. You want it fairly thin. Doesn't have to be super thin either. Easy, right? Next, your cabbage actually does not have to be in shred. This is one particular recipe where you can use it, and I throw away this core, in almost like these large chunks. So that's your whole prep for this, with the exception of the garlic, which we're going to do. Next, take about 2 tablespoons of butter, 1, 2, and get that into your pan. Ooh, the pan's a little hot, so I'm going to turn that down for a second. So again, you have your cabbage, you have your onion, and then let's grate the cheese while we wait for that pan to come down a little bit. I'm going to grate the cheese on my catch plate with the large style grater, and I want about 2 cups, maybe 1 3/4 cups. So won't take you very long to get that in. Get that done. I can smell this already, and it smells so good. I just want to eat the whole block as it is because it's really delicious. So that'll about do it. It's about 1 3/4 cups, maybe 2 cups. Now we are going to place the butter in our pan. Let that start to melt down. Now this is a higher fat butter, so it is going to melt a little quicker, and it might actually burn a little quicker too. So you want to make sure your pan is medium high, but not also too high enough that it will scorch and burn the butter. I'm going to turn this back on. So let that butter melt, and first thing we're going to do is we're going to put in our onion. We can go ahead and do that now. I like to crush the onion just a bit, just to get the different leaves to come off. And it's okay if a piece of cabbage gets in there; it's perfectly fine. With my grater, I'm also going to grate the garlic a little bit. I like the grated garlic in this because it comes across as a little less strong. That's about 1.5 cloves. Perfect. Okay. Once our onion has started to soften, the garlic has been in there about 15, 20 seconds. We want to throw in our cabbage. You just throw it in. Go right ahead and throw it on in. You don't have to separate it out. There's a little piece of core. You want to take that out, maybe. And then toss it. So we're just going to let this butter do its business. It really smells great. Then we're going to take a little bit of salt and add a little bit of salt. Remember, this is unsalted butter. A good heavy pinch will help to bring out some of those juices. Helps to soften the cabbage. and get that going. Now, you don't want this to be too overcooked. You really just want to kind of wilt everything, get the onion cooked off, wilt everything, and then it's done. There's no other spices in here, nothing like that, because we're going to mix this into the potato. And you don't want this to be too soggy within the potato itself. Okay. Wow. What does that look like? That is lightly brown, wilted, and off it goes. Now, I told you this was simple. Did I not mean it? This is so simple. Next, our potatoes. Now, you can hand mash these potatoes. There's nothing wrong with that. But you can also use your steady, handy food processor too. There are going to be people that tell you, oh, don't use a food processor because it'll make it all sticky and gummy. Well, that's only true if you actually run it too long. So the secret here is to take the warm potato, put them into the food processor with your half a cup of milk. And it doesn't have to be a high fat content milk, can, but it doesn't have to be. And again, our onions and cabbage are just resting now, kind of calming down in the pan. Simply pulse this a few times. And that's about it. Any further, you're going to increase the starches, and that's going to make it really gummy and sticky. So we don't want that. This recipe is almost done, believe it or not. Here we go. Take your bowl. Take your now beautiful kind of chunky mash. You don't want too much, and it shouldn't be too loose at this point either, because we are going to add that butter in. That beautiful chunky mash. Add your cheese. That's the best part. Can't forget that. Add your cheese in. Now, final step. You guessed it. And again, this is pretty still pretty dry and chunky, but this is going to really moisten all those potatoes. In it goes. And look at that. I'm going to start to get this to start to work this together a little bit. Work this together. Work it together. Now those potatoes are becoming a lot more smooth. Now you also don't want mushy, wet potatoes, because that's not going to be delicious at all. You kind of want something to go that goes with either a roast or a beautiful roast chicken or roast beef or a pan-fried fish. That's all going to go. And folks, we're done. That's it. Isn't that easy? Okay, now to plate it, I've got this little plate, put some cabbage leaves at the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and plate this in. And this little 4 is enough for probably 4 to maybe even 5 or 6 people. And look at that. Beautiful, beautiful Polakanen. I'm going to taste this because it smells so good. And that cheese and the cabbage. I love cabbage. Do you hate cabbage? This dish will make you love cabbage. I kid you not. Spectacular. It's so nice because the cheddar makes it really come alive, kind of zippy and fun. The cabbage is still crunchy, and the potatoes are smooth and beautiful with that terrific Irish butter. Thank you for coming along with me today. I'm glad to share you with you all my wonderful adventures from Ireland and well beyond. So again, like and subscribe, and thank you for spending a little bit of time with me. Ciao.